In this video today, we're going to do what we do best. We're going to take a deep look at Bitcoin from all different situational awarenesses. We're going to focus in on the technicals and make sure we're able to stay on the right side of the most important trade that matters. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. Before we get started today, we're going to provide some really good clarity on what to expect going forward, what to expect in the week ahead, in the month ahead. Go ahead and smash the like button. Get us going over here. I love to say smash the like button. So go ahead and smash the like button and really help this video get seen by those who could really gain value from it. And we could see that Bitcoin is currently rising in this upward sloping channel. And within that, we could also see that Bitcoin continues to rise in an upward sloping channel going on 9 years now. So we have price rising in an upward sloping channel within an upward sloping channel, and it's quite bullish over here. Bitcoin also right now extending out of the correction. Last we left off here together on the public side of YouTube, Bitcoin was entering this correction, and we made sure that everyone, as it was happening, understood that we were entering the correction. And then this is why you have to make sure, if you're not following on Twitter, please make sure you go ahead right now to the description of this video and you do follow along on Twitter, because when we are not able to be live on the public slide, by the way, we are live Monday through Friday, live streaming. If you want to join us on the inside, there's also a link below there. I made sure on all these important breakouts to make sure that everyone has that awareness, even pointing out where that pullback, that correction was ending, that everyone knew that we had entered into. And you could see that since we have broken out of that correction, you could see on the blue over here, that blue breakout, that trend line break confirmed on the break of this dotted green line. And that is this green line right over here. You're viewing right now the daily time frame. I'm first going to slip down to the 8-hour time frame just to give you an idea of what this breakout looks like. And then I'm going to zoom back out for a second. Before I show you what's next, I want to point out a couple of things that will be of interest to you. Let me jump over now to my blue background, and you could see that price rising out of the pullback. And I want you to just take a look at what was happening this morning, jumping down onto the 5-minute time frame, extending this trend line. I'm going to do it here for you right now. And I just want you to see the type of awareness that we're able to bring over here. I'm going to go ahead and extend that line up, right? My focus over here was touching these 2 points. And as I touched those 2 points, you could see that this morning we came down and touched that trend line again. And you could see the market very much paying attention to that trend line. As price broke the trend line over here this morning, that was an opportunity for me to first go ahead and lock in some profits. Now, I am showing you what this looks like for someone who is able to trade intraday. For those that are looking to take that type of awareness and translate that into the greatest ability I know of to stack sats. And I'm also going to show you from a higher time frame how to go ahead and watch these levels as well. Now, I want you to see what happens afterwards, okay? This is, by the way, what I'm showing you here on the 5-minute time frame translates to every other time frame and is just as relevant here on the 8-hour as it is on the 5-minute. It's the same trend lines. Now, what I did over here, as soon as I exited that position, I drew this trend line, right? I drew this trend line down, and then I was waiting for a breakout above, and this was saying, okay, that's the downside limit. At this point, we're resuming out. I'm making sure that I get long here as well. I know this is on an intraday time frame. This is not the best situated for many people. Usually, generally speaking, the higher the time frame, the better success you're going to find. I just want to, at the same time, continue to throw down as much information for everyone as possible, because these same lessons here that I'm showing you daily and taking place maybe on the 5-minute, maybe on the 2-hour, often on the 8-hour, could be translated to whatever time frame you're trading. By the way, at that point, once that entry is taking, the stop loss right under that last move down, that last swing low, you could see that price currently making higher highs and higher lows. That's all bullish. If price were to go ahead and stop out that reentry over here, right? Stop out that reentry. At that point, I would make sure that I'm neutral. And here's what I would be watching for to re-enter this position. We all woke up to Bitcoin trading up about 4%, or saw Bitcoin trading up 4% this morning. Really beautiful. This over here is shared by Jesse Olson. Make sure you're following Jesse on Twitter. Amazing situational awareness. And I want to show you and focus in on this trend line that Jesse has placed over here from that November high and then to where we peaked out before we started that mini correction that late last week and are now resuming out of. So I'm going to jump over to the white screen and then I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to go ahead from the November high, add that same line in that Jesse is pointing out. This is where we began that correction last week. I'm going to zoom out, right? You could see this morning we traded into that same trend line. So you can see that the market is very much paying attention to this trend line over here and it's offering resistance. Now there's no question we are resuming out of a pullback. When I say pullback, I mean this was the pullback, the correction that we brought to everyone's attention. This was when we were resuming out of the pullback on the break of the green line and resuming back up. Don't forget, we are on a big buy impulse. Technically over here, Bitcoin is having a buy impulse. Now, whether or not this is going to be a big fifth wave impulse or this is still part of the fourth that's going to see a correction, we could talk about that in a little bit. First, let's continue with what we're looking at because there's great lessons to be learned over here. And like I said, if stopped out over here, right? Exit over here, entry over here, that's a small gain. And if you're stopped out over there, that's basically a break even on this whole episode and the profits we're taking over there. When do you get back into this trade right now? We know that we are undergoing a buy impulse. When I say buy impulse, I mean that ever since we broke out over here on the first Friday of February, this was non-farm payrolls day. Ever since we had this big technical breakout, we're undergoing a buy impulse to the upside. Regardless of whatever your feelings are, you just want to stay on the right side of the trade. And right now means that you are long over here. Now, when you're able to point out a correction, you're looking for those corrections. Now, whether or not you're looking to, on an intraday time frame, take advantage of upside and downside momentum on Bitcoin to go ahead and continue to build your stack, or you're just looking to go ahead and buy out of these pullbacks as we are on this buy impulse, that's up for you to decide, right? And by the way, if you are new to all of this and you're just learning on TradingView itself, you could open up a paper trading account and you could follow the work that we're doing over here and you could continue to sharpen those skills. What I'm watching over here from this beautiful awareness that Jesse has brought to our attention, by the way, his link is also in the description below. You could see that this is that blue line over here. If I zoom out, right, here's that line that we just added on that white chart from the November high to where we topped out last week and to where we topped out this morning. If price were to break back above that, at that point, I want to go ahead and reinitiate my position. When I say reinitiate my position, that is saying that I exited, I took profits here this morning, right? I waited, had the break, entered the trade again. If I'm stopped out, I don't want to go ahead and continue to try to see any short side momentum. I want to get neutral, avoid any type of chop, and then wait to see if I break above this trend line. That would offer, or I should say, if that were to happen at that point, I don't want to be left behind. I want to make sure I'm participating in what the market is paying attention to with that particular level. Now, it doesn't stop there. What happens if we were actually to go ahead and trade down, take out that little stop loss I'm telling you about, trade down further, right? At that point, I'm not waiting for this, what we call a conservative line of repair. At that point, I would be setting up some type of black diamond entry, whatever it looked like. Again, that's why you want to be following what the work we're doing also on Twitter, because we can't just go live here on YouTube or publish a public YouTube video all the time like that. We are committed Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time to going live. We live stream together with the community. That is an incredible experience. Now, that is something that could be watched live with the community participating and or on replay. I would say about 90% of the community watches that on replay. And each and every day we deliver, we make sure that we're providing lots of golden nuggets over there to take and put together and to continue to offer what we believe to be the best awareness possible out there. Let me take this a little bit further. I just want to show you or reaffirm for those that are following, we were waiting as Bitcoin was, that there's that technical breakout. When I say that technical breakout, let me just go ahead and show you on the 8-hour time frame. That's the breakout of the green line over here, that big technical breakout. And as that breakout happened, we were able to participate. And again, that was posted on Twitter before the breakout, right around $38,000. Before the breakout, a lot of people over here were wondering, when do they add to their position? We wait for the correction to add to the position. One of the insights we were giving everyone is wait for it. Right now, you're seeing the true trend on this trend reversal being very overbought. And you can see over here, the true trend, very overbought. We were waiting for it to become oversold in this new uptrend before looking to go ahead and add to a position and take a new position. It's worked out very well, right? So far, we've had some nice follow through, able to lock in some profits, able to get back into the trade as momentum is potentially changing. And we know if stopped out of this trade where the awareness is to the upside. I want you to focus over on this side. This is the 8-hour. This on the right side in the blue background is the 2-hour time frame. Here on the 8-hour time frame, I want you to notice down over here, the true trend BTC is still red. We are still in a downtrend. Why we have a potential change of trend shown here on the true trend. This is just nothing more than price overbought in this downtrend. Here's another example of another time that price was overbought in a downtrend. And if price is able to roll over, there could be further downside pressure. Now, true, if price keeps rising, that we might get a flip over here and the greater trend here turn positive. And at that point, we'll be working with, a stronger bull trend and a lot of momentum on our side. Just be aware. And as we talk about potentially right now, right, on looking at Bitcoin overbought in a downtrend and what that might look like, come back over here. And the question is this like the 4? Is this number 4? And are we looking for the 5th impulse up? And has that started? Listen, no one really has the answer to that question, right? No one has the answer. It's true that this could be wave number 4, and we could have started the 5th impulse. Now, I don't lean in that camp. I don't believe that's what's happening whatsoever. Now, it doesn't mean that I believe that we're going to roll over this way and come into this very important support line. You can see it's cloned off the April high into the November high. And then if you just clone that line and bring it down over here, you can see that's where the July low and the January low both touched. If we take out that line of support, there could be a capitulation type event or just more downward pressure. Make sure you understand your levels and how to manage your risk around them. So it's quite possible that we're currently on just a 4th wave right over here, and it hasn't ended yet, and that we come back down over here and it's still the 4th, or it's possible that this is the beginning of the 5th. We simply don't know. It's why instead of trying to guess about what's happening, we're just looking to stay on the right side following these technical breaks. Here we go again. You could see the beginning of this move up. As long as we stay above this trend line over here, we're looking for this breakout, this buy impulse to continue. I'll talk about in a second what the next target is and what we're looking at on resistance to the upside. But if this were to break down at any point in time, we're going to expect some follow through. When I say follow through, at that point, here's that line, something like that, a breakdown below, and then we're setting up a potential test of this trend line support over here. And that would be a very important occurrence. You don't want to be in a situation of just hoping. You want to make sure that you continue to follow these important breakdowns and breakouts at the right time, and make sure you stay on the right side in these very uncertain times. And we are looking at uncertain times. By the way, tomorrow is a big deal. We have a release of the Fed meeting minutes. Potentially could jolt the markets a little bit if quantitative tightening has been discussed at the last meeting. That's also something at the March FOMC meeting that might become the topic of discussion. And again, there's a lot of uncertainty out there, and price right now holding well, finally putting in this bounce. But this appears to me to be nothing more at this particular point in time, nothing more than a counter rally. Right? And it's a question about how far that rally is able to push. Now, if this rally is able to push and this actually is the 5th wave, and this continues to go up without any type of technical breakdowns, even coming up and testing the upper end of this channel resistance, right? Which I imagine it wouldn't break out on the first test, that we would see some type of pullback and then a breakout above. Look, as long as whatever the market gives me, I'm going to take. And I'll take it as far as it gives me. But right now, we are simply, after this major sell-off, 50% drawdown, we are breaking out to the upside. But right now, it is a rally that you should be cautiously optimistic about. On the upside, we do have some potential areas of concern to worry about. I have it marked at the danger zone. You can see over here, it's somewhere between $55,000, $58,000. And on the log scale, that's coming in a lot lower. It's coming in right around or just below 52,000 and between 54,000. And that, I think, by the way, is the next area that we're looking at over here. It's right around this $52,000, $53,000. And I think that the market has good potential, especially with the de-escalation that we've just seen between Russia pulling back troops off the border. That's a really good sign, something that's been weighing on the markets. Removing that potential obstacle, that potential dark cloud overhanging the market is very, very bullish for a continued near-term bounce over here. But let's make sure that instead of, just that we stay very grounded, because we are looking right now in 2020 at uncertain times. People say, watch what they do and not what they say. And if you want to watch what they're doing, actually, when I say they, I'm talking about the FOMC. We could jump over right now and look at their balance sheet. And you could see that actually the taper is real. They are tapering their purchases. These purchases are expected to stop by March. It's about a month away. And at that point, they are looking to lift off to raise rates. We have a 25 basis point rate hike currently priced into the market. I do feel that is also very bullish here for this relief rally that we're currently undergoing, that the Fed rate hike in March liftoff currently priced in. It is debatable whether or not a 50 basis point rate hike would be priced in, but I feel that is too. My concern, my worry right now, the one thing that I want to be cautious here, and again, I'm very cautiously optimistic. I'm optimistic because we had this big breakout over here, and technically that's a bullish buy impulse, and I'm going to take it as far as it goes. As you know, continuing to add to the position over here, build and push these positions. Watching this next area, by the way, is this. Follow my mouse. You'll be able to see there's a trend line that the market is a clone trend line off of that top touch to April to November that I showed you down over here in July and in January. And it's that same trend line. That's coming in right now around $46,500. That's also a little bit of overhead resistance we got. Get above that area, get above, $47,000. And it looks like then we're going to be targeting right around here, right around $52,000 as the next potential obstacle. And it does look like that there is a pretty strong probability that is attainable before the next FOMC meeting. That's what I have my eyes on. And that, of course, is dependent on us just staying above this red line over here, this big, what would set up a sell impulse. So if you did not have the opportunity yet because you were paying attention and making sure to take in all that's being shared, if you have anything that you would like to add or discuss, please make sure to add it right now in the comments below. Or if you have not yet, I ask you please, as a friend, go ahead and smash that like button and help this video get the love it deserves. Everyone, thanks for being here. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.